It's time to hit a Van Damerinator into some wrestling news because it's time for the Turnbuckle. That's right, boys. Starting with our first bit of news, EC3 says WWE knew about his recent Velveteen Dream accusation. All right, so I'm just going to be honest with you. We're not starting off very well. We're going to be talking about some saloon things, okay? Recently, EC3 shared a disturbing story about his time working in WWE developmental with Patrick Velveteen Dream Clark. I thought there was a bug on my microphone. I think it was just me talking and I moved the hair. EC3 real name... Hold on. Okay, never mind. Real name Michael Hutter told Sportskeeda. All right, there we go. I had to get an air bubble out of my throat. Sorry. EC3 real name Hutter told Sportskeeda. We had a party and it was at my place and he came over because I'm being friendly and I'm top guy and I tried to welcome everybody into the thing. He left his phone in my bathroom with the camera on trying to capture people taking pisses. So there. When I walk in there, I see a phone selfie style propped up on filming, where if somebody is going to take a pee, they would have their phallus out urinating into the water. I'm like, what is going on? Am I tripping? I shouldn't be because I don't do drugs that would trip me out. So I'm like, this is actually happening. What I did was I took the phone, I stopped the recording, I made sure the pee video of my wee-wee was deleted. Listen. He doesn't have to say it like that, but somehow I can agree with why he worded it like that. Because, I mean, I don't know how else you're going to word it. I don't know. It's just, of all the PP, this is serious. PP video of my wee-wee was deleted because that was happening in my house, by the way. So, delete. Put it back. Turn it back on so it looked like it was still happening. Haha, the big elaborate ruse. I walk out of my own bathroom because this is where I live. I sit on the couch. I go and I wait, and he goes right back in the bathroom. I go back in right after that. Phone's gone. I'm like, I can't believe this. In the Sportskeeda interview, EC3 seemed to indicate the story was well known around WWE. He addressed it in a more straightforward fashion while talking to Steve Fall of NBC Sports Boston's The 10 Count. It was known. Talent was involved. It's a wide tale, and a lot of people did know, even being part of it. I had to make sure that my microphone was on. I had a mini heart attack for like a split second, and then I was like, oh shit, never mind, we're good. Okay, sorry. Talent was involved. It's a wild tale, and a lot of people did know, even being part of it, where I was kind of at the forefront of it because it was my home, taking it up the chain, being there, getting there. People sometimes don't want the boat rocked from an office perspective. Sometimes talent is doing well and drawing money. They'll be protected. One of the troubling things about, quote, The Office being aware of this allegation of inappropriate sexual behavior against Dream but not doing anything about it is that when he was accused by people outside the company of inappropriate sexual behavior, Triple H told the media WWE's investigation didn't turn up anything. The alleged incidents were more than a year apart and weren't the same type of violation. But if EC3's story was in Dream's personnel file, you'd hope that wouldn't count as we didn't find anything. Speaking with both Sportskeeda and the 10 Count, EC3 wondered if the concussion he suffered in their 2018 TakeOver Brooklyn 4 match, every NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, wasn't the result of an accident. Like, what do you mean by that? EC3 wondered if the concussion he suffered, not Velveteen Dream, I have to make sure I'm reading this correctly, wasn't the result of an accident. Oh, he told Fall. The butterfly effect of the bathroom incident, in theory, working with him later being concussed. Was that purposeful? It kind of ruined my run and ruined my life in a sense. It put me in a bad spot because of the issues with the concussions that stem from it. That's not to put the blame on it, but that's my story and it's the truth. EC3 is doing media promoting his Control Your Narrative promotion, which recently lost two of its top draws when Braun Strowman and Karrion Kross re-signed with WWE. Clark hasn't wrestled since his WWE release in May of last year and is currently facing unrelated criminal charges in Florida. Now, sticking with that, we're going to move on to the next topic that has to do with it, and it talks about Velveteen Dream responding to EC3's accusations. The former Velveteen Dream took to Instagram to rebuke claims made by EC3 that Clark recorded people in the bathroom during a house party and the WWE knew about the situation. Clark painted a vivid portrait of the party at Hutter's home, accusing him of leaving out a lot of details about the situation. What were we doing that night, Mike? What kind of powder was on that table, Clark said, accusing Hutter himself, along with a former NXT superstar and current Raw superstar, of using the drug cocaine during the party. We were all drunk. You were pussy drunk. I'm going to assume this is pussy drunk because I don't know why they would blur out the word pretty drunk, but Also, I don't know what. Anyway, Clark continued, saying Hutter was damn near passed out in a corner, you and your homegirl, whichever chick you were screwing at the time. Clark said that he left his phone on a counter and that Hutter, confused about Clark's sexuality due in part to the hedonistic nature of the Velveteen Dream character, and in part because Clark says the two are not friends at all, accused him of recording people, including Hutter, in the bathroom. Clark went on to detail handing a mutual friend his phone, noting that he showed him the recently deleted section of his phone as well, to prove he was not recording him. Oh, yeah, okay, so for those of you who don't know, on your iPhone, I assume it's probably on like Android phones too, on your iPhone, there's a section in your phone for photos that says recently deleted. So if you delete a picture and you didn't mean to do it, it goes into the recently deleted section and it stays there for a whole 30 days and then it automatically gets like fully deleted and you can't get it back. So that's what he's talking about. Cocaine is a hell of a drug, EC3, Clark said, referencing the famous Rick James line from Chappelle's show. Get your shit together. Clark took one more jab, saying that Hutter still follows Clark on social media all these years later. Acclaim Wrestling Inc. was able to verify. Ooh, you're pathetic, Clark concluded. Now control that narrative, you asshole. All right. We are not going to sit here and defend Patrick Clark. We're not. Because there have been things coming out of him doing not okay things and speaking to people that he's not supposed to be speaking to, and it doesn't help the Triple H, because I remember when this happened, because the same thing happened to Matt Riddle, if you remember. It came out years ago that Matt Riddle had apparently spoken to an underage girl on Twitter. They like DM'd each other, and then nothing necessarily came of that because they were like, oh, you can't prove this and that sort of stuff, and then it was still going. And then they dropped the charges. I remember that specifically. I remember both parties dropped the charges because they didn't want to deal with this type of stuff anymore. Which I'm. Look, man. Look. Nobody wants to deal with this. No one. Nobody wants to be fucking dealing with this, man. If it's true, then it needs to be handled in the proper way that it needs to be taken care of. And that goes for the whole Matt Riddle thing. That goes for the Velveteen Dream thing. That goes for everything, right? If all of this is true, then this needs to be taken care of properly, okay? Legally. If this is not true, again, with the whole CM Punk thing, if this isn't true, then EC3, you're not making yourself look too good here. However, that is not to say that Velveteen Dream is without fault, okay? So I'm not defending anybody, all right? Honestly, I don't know. But considering the fact that Velveteen Dream has gotten himself arrested twice in the span of 2 weeks, he shouldn't be standing on anything. There should be no soapbox that he is allowed to be standing on, okay? So ultimately, I really don't think. Ultimately, if gun to my head, I'm going to go ahead and trust EC3 before I trust Velveteen Dream. Okay? Because as far as I can tell, I've not really heard too much about, stuff that EC3 has done. But then again, I don't know. So if there's a report out there that EC3 did something, then by all means, okay, he is. I'm not going to sit here and defend him. Okay? I mean, geez Louise, man. This is bad. Okay? This is not good. The Velveteen Dream is fucking getting in fights and, he's talking to people he's not supposed to be talking to and all that sort of stuff. Hey, Gavolt, man, this is just not good, okay? But listen, I feel as though that we need to talk about this, all right? I think it's only fair that we need to come out and speak about this stuff, okay? Because if it turns out that one of them was lying, I think that we need to be able to go back and be like, all right, well, what did they say? And what did they not say? So, in terms of Velveteen Dream, listen, he is not helping himself by getting himself arrested and by doing things that he's not supposed to be doing, okay? So when it comes to stuff like this, I think that more people are going to lean onto the side of EC3 than they are going to be leaning onto the side of Velveteen Dream. And if there are people out there that are defending Velveteen Dream, that should speak for itself. I'm not even going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. That should tell you everything that you need to know about the type of person that they are if they're over here going, well, maybe, no. All right? Okay, I there's not really much else you can really say about that. So, here's hoping that it comes out that EC3 is telling the truth. And, man, Velveteen Dream needs help. He just needs help. Like, it once, it goes from being like, see, this is the problem, right? This is what I was, no, this has nothing to do with that. It goes from being like Jeff Hardy, it goes from being, okay, it goes from being like, all right, this is a problem, to, okay, someone seriously needs to help him, to, all right, man, you gotta fucking figure this shit out, because this is starting to get ridiculous. Like, I feel like right now we're in that gray area of like, bro, Patrick, you need help, man. You need help. You need to talk to somebody. You need to get rehabilitated somehow. You need to like cut yourself off from all social media, and you need to find help. You need to get a therapist. You need to like figure yourself out. You need to figure this out. You need to do like Jeff Hardy, and you need to like fucking admit yourself somewhere, because I feel like if you are constantly getting yourself like in trouble, and you are constantly on the wrong end of news, that's not good. Like, I really do not think that this isn't good. This is not good. Patrick needs help, man. And if it comes, bro, and I was watching it. Because it came out that he spoke to an underage girl on Twitter, and then that was it for him. And now more reports are coming out of stuff like this, and it's just like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, come on. Like, fucking we gotta do something about this. And when I say we, I mean like Velveteen Dream. Like, he has to do something about this, man, and it's not gonna stop it unless he himself stands up and goes like, oh man, I shouldn't be doing this, or I need help. If I would really fucking like it if he stood up and was like, fuck, I need help. Like, this isn't good. I need to fix myself. If he stood up and said that, I'd be like, thank you, God. Okay, like he needs to fix himself. So listen, fuck me, man. Hopefully nothing else comes out, man. There's not much I can say. He's done. He's done. He's gotten arrested like fucking twice in the span of 10 days. At the time of this recording, he's already been arrested twice for assault and I forget what the other thing was, but he's not fucking helping himself, man. So hopefully somewhere down the line he comes out and he's like, I was in a bad place or something, and he fixes himself, and all of this, I don't want to say blows over, but bro, I really don't like reading stuff about this, man, because I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I loved the Velveteen Dream at one point. I loved him. I thought he was an absolutely stellar wrestler on the mic, in the ring. I thought he was fantastic. And now this shit, and it's just like, bro, like, I can't look at you the same anymore. It's the same thing with Kane. Like, bro, fuck Kane. Fuck him. I used to love Kane. I used to love fucking 2011 Kane, where he was fucking throwing fucking Paul Bearer down the steps, and Masked Kane, where he was choke slamming people and not saying anything. And now it comes out that he's just a shithead. He's just a fucking dickhead, man. And it's just so sad. It really is, man. Like, bro, don't meet your heroes, man. Really, like, don't fucking meet your heroes, man. We're gonna move on. And we're going to talk about lighter things, okay? We're going to talk about Triple H and reported updates on the future of WWE NXT TakeOver. We're going to get to that in a little bit. We're going to get to that next, okay? So just hold on. Brian Alvarez reported on Wednesday's Wrestling Observer Live that the upcoming NXT Halloween Havoc event is now being branded as NXT TakeOver. According to Fightful Select, NXT TakeOver Halloween Havoc is scheduled for Saturday, October 22nd, and will be a WWE Premium Live event. Last year's Halloween Havoc was a special episode of NXT's weekly broadcast featuring Tommaso Ciampa defending the NXT Championship against the current champion Braun Breaker. It was also the event where NXT Women's Tag Team Division stalwarts, what? Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. What the fuck is a stalwart? Hold on a second. A loyal, reliable, and hardworking supporter or participant in an organization or team. They are. I want to give a shout out to them. They're like Dolph Ziggler. Like, they're just reliable. Like, they're the go-to guys that you go to when you need a good match. When you need to put on a fucking barn burner, you get Kurt Angle, you get Shawn Michaels, and you get Lil Nate out there, and they just fucking put on a goddamn stormer, okay? When you want a decent match, you get GC Jane, you get Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, and fucking Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter, and you just fucking... They have a fucking romper out there, all right? Like, I really rate them, man. They're really fucking, how do I say it? They're really fucking, like, they're doing, like, phenomenal out there. I really fucking rate them. Okay, so, NXT is, all right, we're going to bleed that into this. We're going to bleed that into the next topic. I know that wasn't a whole lot, but that does bleed into what I'm about to talk about, which is NXT, which happened yesterday at the time of this recording. All right, happy Wednesday. So, was our Hurricanes. No video package intros from the side, the Together montage. Yeah, fair enough. NXT Tag Team Champions Pretty Deadly defeat the Creed Brothers. This was a decent match. Somebody came out. Oh yeah, Damon Kemp, who turned on the Creeds at Worlds Collide, runs down. Kemp climbs the cage. Julius stomps Kemp, but it was a trap. Oh yeah, okay. I was a bit worried. I don't like when they shake the fence a bunch, because I feel like the fence is gonna like break off or something. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I wanted to talk about this. Brutus fires up with a Fury, but Pretty Deadly tries to execute another superplex on Brutus. Julius helps to save Brutus. He, had them both up on his shoulders. And then he does that cannonball thing. I hate when he does that, man. Fuck. Stop doing that. Jeez. Sorry. Okay. Julius stomps Kemp, but it was a trap. Kemp slaps handcuffs on Julius, and he cuffs him to the cage with Julius standing perched on the ropes. Brutus tries to help free his brother to no avail. Brutus must fight on seemingly alone against Pretty Deadly. Julius for a moment nabs Wilson, but he escapes Julius's grasp. Pretty Deadly gives Brutus their split milk finisher, but Brutus is able to kick out. However, the numbers game is too much for even Brutus. Another delivery of spilt milk. Did I say split milk? And Brutus takes a pinfall. The champions retain, thanks in large part to Damon Kemp. I like that. I thought it was really good. The match was great. I like the angle. I really like when I love so much when there is someone who's in an angle, and then they're having an angle with somebody else, and then somebody from their angle stops them, and that continues that angle, and I don't know how to put it. If someone so the Creed brothers are having an angle with Damon Kemp, and okay, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just like when multiple angles intersect over each other, because it makes it feel more like fluid and alive. You know what I mean? I like that. And it also, it gives spotlight to everybody involved in that angle. You know what I mean? This was a great match because the Pretty Deadly retained, right? It was a decent match. The Creed brothers are in an angle right now with Damon Kemp, and that is the result of why Pretty Deadly won, or why Pretty Deadly was able to retain. You know what I mean? It all makes sense. It all bleeds into one another. It's just all one big, interlocking, thing, and I really like that. Hold on. I gotta make sure I don't miss any of the promos, because I want to talk about those too. So Tornado Rules. A video package highlights the NXT roster. It is like a trailer for NXT 2.0 in the middle of the show. The next match has a special guest at ringside in the babyface corner in association with Connor's Cure. Oh, yeah. That's right. Fallon Henley comes out with Lash Legend. Yeah. Or no, Fallon Henley comes out with the Night Howler. Oh, and Mason, the Night Howler Ramirez, yeah. So they're doing a Connor's Cure thing, and he was one of them. I like what was he? I think he was dressed as Black Panther. I rate that, okay? Shout out to him, okay? I like the idea. I don't know if I talked about this, but I like the idea that they were like, all right, you're a wrestler. Go out and get your wrestling outfit. And he just came back, and he was just like, I like the idea that he was like, bro, I don't fucking know. So they were like, all right, well, we're just going to get you a costume. You want to be Black Panther? And he's like, yeah. And they're like, all right, cool, you're Black Panther. Come on. And then they called him, I like that. They called him the Night Howler. Oh, man. That's adorable, man. That's so fucking adorable. God, he was so small. And he walked out with him. He had his, he didn't have his mask on. That was the time to do it. He didn't have it on. Oh, bless him, man. Fuck. He's so adorable, man. All right. Fallon Henley defeats Last Legend. She's getting a lot better in the ring. She's getting so much better in the ring. She's improving. Okay, it is her selling, her in-ring prowess. She's improving a lot. The match was great. Nothing really to write home about. I just really wanted to talk about the fact that she is she's improving a lot, and that's what you want. You want them to come into the ring and suck, and then weeks later, you want them to come in the ring and they're far better than they used to be, because that's kind of that's the point of NXT, you know. So Henley shines at the outset. She's soon cut off by Legend. Henley is worked over, and Legend applies the Jesse Ventura body vice. I don't know what the fuck that means. Elissa Leon exits the trainer's room. Hold on. Briggs and Jensen. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, and then he got in the ring. Elissa Leon exits a trainer's room with a large brace on her right leg. It's torn. Oh, yeah, I saw this. It's torn, she says to her tag team partner, Valentina Ferraz. She goes to say she'll be out of action for 9 months. Sanga is also there, and he says, you're doing a negative into a positive. He tells Rawls this is her time, but they're Interrupted by Mr. Stone and Von Wagner, and Senga go face to face, but Wagner eventually backs down. Briggs and Jensen is walking backstage with Fallon Henley after her win. They run into Toxic Attraction. Henley has words with NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose. This seems to set up a potential match between the two. So they walk back there, and he's acting all like simpish, you know. He's like, "Oh, Mandy, oh, there you are. Oh, I love you so much. Hey," and then she's like, "Oh," he's like, and then she's like, "Oh, beat it, loser," and then what's her name? Fallon Henley. She was like, "Hey, fuck you." And then I like the what Mandy said. She was like, "Oh, I remember when I won my first match." I like that. I like that detail of like, oh, she's obviously riding high off of her win, so that's why she feels like she can yell at you. I like that. I really like that. Alba Fire challenges women's champion. Okay, so yeah, the Toxic Attraction trio head out for an in-ring promo. They brag on themselves. They are interrupted by Alba Fire. She strolls out with her baseball bat over her shoulder. Fire gets on the ring to confront and challenge Rose. JC Jane and Gigi Dolan try to jump Fire, but she swings her bat and nails them like Sting to the NWO in 97. Fire then gives Rose a gory bomb, and then Fire then... Okay, and then she's about to go up top. Oh, that's what that is, a gory bomb? What? I don't know what the fuck I thought that was. Anyway, and then Fire comes to the turnbuckles. Jane and Dolan pull Rose out of the ring before Fire can jump off the ropes, and the heel trio flees. Some character development with a video package that features Cora Jade. This works well in portraying Jade as a heel. At the end, she vows to be the number one woman in the entire industry in a year. Wendy Chu is being interviewed by... Okay. All right, never mind. All right. Sorry, I thought my papa was going to tell me to turn the volume down. I can't, all right? I'm a reporter. I got out with a reporter voice, okay? You think fucking Jim Gardner talks in his inside voice? Anyway, when he chooses being interviewed by Mackenzie Mitchell when they are interrupted by Laugh Legend. All right, can I just say, all right. Well, all right, never mind. I already brought it to light, so now I have to say it. Mackenzie Mitchell is very attractive. There, I said it. All right. Half of you are like, what? And? Okay, we knew that. She was mad about losing her match, but Chu does not want to hear any of it. This would seem to set up a match at some point. Next on the show is an in-ring debut on NXT 2.0. This wasn't bad. This is Wendy Chu's character, so I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, you know, like I'm not going to say anything. So I'm if it sets up a match, great. Part of me wanted to be like, oh, that was terrible, but it's like, bro, that's her character, you know. So also, it was fine. That's why I don't really have anything to say. She didn't say anything stupid, you know what I mean? It was the way she delivered it, you know what I mean? But listen, she can talk however she wants, okay? If she's fantastic in the ring and has some of the stuff that she says on the microphone makes sense, fine. I can't really say anything. Quincy Elliott defeats Sean Gallagher. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Quincy Elliott came out. It was pretty much a squash match. Turns out he was supposed to look like Mabel. I didn't know that. He was supposed to look like King Mabel. So shouts out to him. No, so this is like a squash on an old episode of Superstars, except with a modern character. Listen, he looks fantastic in the ring. He looks great. First of all, he looks immensely comfortable. He looks like he knows exactly what he's doing in the ring. He is incredibly athletic. He's incredibly charismatic. I can't wait to see more of him. He looks like he's going to be absolutely fantastic in the ring. Mackenzie Mitchell interviews Cameron Grimes, and she asks who his tag team partner is for tonight. Grimes says the only person he can trust is himself. Apparently, Grimes has no partner. That basically turns the match into a handicap match. Wesley is warming up in a locker room when that explains that. Okay. Wesley is warming up in a locker room when he's attacked by Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. Hayes slams the locker door into Lee's head. Security pours in to end the sneak attack. All right, can I be honest with everybody right now? Can I be honest? I thought I had to rewind the tapes multiple times because I thought he said the soft N word. I'm not joking. I'm not trying to be funny. I genuinely thought he said the soft. When he's kicking him, after he's like, yeah, kick him. After he says that, I thought he said the N word, but he didn't. I forget what he said, but he didn't say it, so everything's fine. I had to rewind it. I had to slow it down and rewind it just to be like, did he do it? No, he didn't. Cameron Grimes. Okay. Cameron Grimes and Joe Gacy defeats Tony D'Angelo, and Channing stacks Lorenzo. So, Grimes does well at times on his own in the first half of the match, but the numbers game is too much for him. D'Angelo and Stacks work him over. Joe Gacy comes to the ring during the match, and he gets in Grimes' corner. Gacy is apparently going to be an impromptu tag partner for Grimes, yet Grimes won't tag out. Grimes makes his own comeback, but a counter sends him falling backwards into his corner. Gacy makes a blind tag, and he runs wild. Grimes recovers and yells at Gacy. Grimes clearly does want Gacy as his partner. Grimes is yelling at Gacy that he does not need his help. That probably supposed to say doesn't. I don't know. It's yelling at Gacy. It does not need his help. A parade of moves at the finish. Grimes does a running Spanish fly on Stacks, and then Grimes hits D'Angelo with a cave-in. Gacy delivers the upside-down whirl to Stacks, and Gacy covers Stacks for a pinfall. Grimes again screams at Gacy that he does not need him. The Dyad appear, and they attack Grimes. The Schism Trio beat down Grimes. Fucking Gacy, man. He's another one, too. He's fucking improved immensely. He's got his character. His character's pretty set in stone. Like, I rate Joe Gacy. He's doing absolutely fantastic. This was a great match. I mean, bruh, Joe Gacy, man. Joe Gacy, Grimes, all of them, man. They're fucking fantastic. JD McDonough is getting a shave in a barber chair. He uses that in an analogy for a promo on NXT champion Braun Breaker. And then he cuts it. I don't know what his affiliation with blood is. I don't know. He cut his neck. And then that was pretty much it. That made me think of you remember the part from Dumb and Dumber where he pretended like he was like bleeding out, but it was ketchup? That made me think of that part. Breaker is then seen in pre-taped sit-down interview with Vic Joseph. Breaker reflects on the past year, which leads up to his championship run. This is good character development as it helps get Breaker over as the top singles champion on the brand. Tyler Bate in a backstage interview talks about JD McDonough. Bate says if McDonough wants a title match, he should go through Bate first. This seems to set up a number one contenders match. Great. Zoe Stark and Nikita Lyons defeat Kiana James and Ariana Grace. Oh yeah, I saw this. Bro, y'all are so fucking mad at Lions, man. I saw some of the fucking comments, y'all. Okay, that's rude. That is rude. I should not say y'all. Because y'all are watching this right now going, me? I didn't. People online are being very rude to Nikita Lyons, and they're saying very hurtful things about her. Let them. Nikita Lyons is living her best life, and she is living in y'all's head rent-free. Y'all are just mad because you don't have her. Okay, y'all are mad, okay, and it shows. Y'all are very bitter about the fact that she is just not talking to you, and that is your problem and not hers, and it damn sure ain't mine, okay? Starks looks most impressive overall among the others in the match. Stark seems ready for the main roster from an outsider perspective. For now, the team with Lion seems like a regular thing going forward. The match goes through a commercial break, even though they didn't really have to do so, yet they did. Lion is knocked off the apron, and she isn't in her corner when Stark needs to tag out. Nevertheless, Stark makes her own comeback. That might have gotten over better if we hadn't already seen Grind make his own comeback earlier. Yeah, a lot of people talk about this, like, If you see it one time, I understand, like, if you see it one time throughout the night, the second time you see it, it's going to be less impactful. Sure, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you just should not do it at all. Like, bro, PewDiePie played this game already. Bro, so that means I should never fucking play that game ever? Like, shut up. Starks delivers her modified GTS finisher, and she tags out. Lyons hits Grace with a roundhouse kick. Lyons falls by doing the splits into a leg drop. That was Grace for a pinfall. Malik Blade and Idris Enofe were outside the building talking to an unknown subject in a hood. That person was trying to get Blade and Enofe to vote for Gacy as the biggest star. When they declined, they are met by the Dyad. A brawl erupts and security separates them. Hank Walker is there with the security team, but another member tells Walker they can handle the melee as Walker has a match up next. Okay, so I must have missed this because apparently Hank Walker is like he's a security guard turned wrestler apparently. Wesley is seen in the trainer's room being attended to, and him being cleared to wrestle later on remains in question. A vignette hypes Oro Mensah, who debuts next week. Grayson Waller is interviewed by Mackenzie Mitchell. She announces the final four in the fan vote for the biggest NXT star. Okay, I thought it was being attacked. Mitchell announces Toxic Attraction, who are counted as one, I guess. Right. I like how... Right. It was like 3 people and then Toxic Attraction as a whole. Okay. Camilla Hayes and Nikita Lyons. Waller interjects to claim he is the 4th pick. Mitchell then says the 4th pick is Braun Breaker. And Angry Waller then cuts a promo on the fans and Breaker. And then we have Hank Walker defeating Javier Bernal. Walker is like a character from Bill Watts' Mid-South. Walker fires up on Bernal, takes his shirt off. The crowd popped when he took his shirt off. And then mauls Bernal. Walker then pins him. Although he has no interest in music. Oh, yeah, and then they play the NXT theme song. So, I mean, which is fair, you know. So, no interest in Wells. NXT theme song plays for Walker after the win. Another video package highlights the past year in NXT. Sol Ruka is the focus of another vignette set on the beach. And then... Okay, I was about to say, wait a minute. There should be... Okay. Announced for next Tuesday. Number 1 contenders match. Tyler Bate vs. JD McDonough. Best of 3 series, Axiom versus Nathan Frazier, and Axiom is currently in the lead with 1. Toxic Attraction versus Diamond Mine, Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley. Cora Jade versus Wendy Chu. Really? Okay. All right. Okay. Well, good. That means that Lash Legend is going to interfere. Okay. Von Wagner versus Sanga. Great. And then Earl Mensah debuts. Okay. Sorry, not Mensah. I have this. Oro Mensah debuts. Braun Breaker is voted biggest superstar of NXT 2.0. And then NXT North American Champion Carmelo Hayes and Wes Lee head to the ring. They cut promos as it appears not Wes Lee, Trick Williams. It's alright. Cut promos as it appears Lee cannot compete tonight. Interrupting their promo is the entrance of Solo Sikoa. He replaced Lee tonight in the title match, much to the chagrin of Hayes and Williams. Sikoa was recently called up to the main roster as part of the Bloodline storyline on SmackDown. I really like this because I like when something significant happens on the main roster and then come over to NXT. So like, there's more to talk about, and it puts more significance on the match and the people involved as a whole. So, great back and forth. What happened? I mean, you all pretty much know what happened, right? Williams tries to interfere a third time, but he instead eats a kick from Sikoa. Rock bottom by Sikoa, and he climbs the turnbuckles. Sikoa, he did rock bottom, didn't he? Sikoa leaps off the top rope with a super flash spash, yeah, and Sikoa covers Hayes for a 3 count. That's it. Somebody I think it was on Twitter, or it was on Reddit. Somebody was like, fuck it, just give him all the belts. I mean, listen, all right. You didn't need to do that. You didn't need to give him the title. You didn't have to. I understand why. You didn't have to, but it adds more significance to the faction as a whole, to the stable, right? And also, I mean, it just fucking straps a rocket straight to Solo. You know, I for one, I'm not 100% opposed to it because I feel like Carmelo, he can bounce back from this. This isn't really like a detriment to Carmelo, you know what I mean? And I really don't see this as a bad thing. Some would argue that it's too soon or Carmelo didn't need to lose or the yada yada, which is fine. I completely agree, but at the same time, I understand the direction that they're going in. So really, ultimately, I just want to see what they're going to do with Carmelo and Trick going forward. Maybe Carmelo and Trick are going to be tag team champions, but I don't know. We'll have to see. So, boys, that's going to do it for not this episode. I don't know why I say that. I know that usually when I say that's going to do it, that usually means that I'm ending the episode, but that's NXT. It gets a 3.5 out of 5. It wasn't terrible. I like the matches and the overall, like, the promos and stuff like that. I really think they were good. Favorite match? Tag Team Championship match. I thought that was pretty good. I like the seeds being planted for the storylines and stuff like that. Next, we are going to talk about Logan Paul and how he was talking to Roman Reigns on his Impulsive podcast. I like how it now is wrestling. Like, I like if you follow True Jordy, half of it is soccer, and I shouldn't say that. Half of it is football, okay? And half of it is UFC and boxing, and then like every now and again you'll see a sprinkle of wrestling in there. Like I like that. I like that he's touching all 4 corners of well, not all 4 corners, but you know, he's touching a lot of different aspects of sports and all that sort of stuff. So Logan Paul says he's ready to take on Roman Reigns in a WWE ring. Reigns appeared as a guest on Paul's Impulsive podcast this week, and Paul expressed a desire to face Reigns sooner than later. I can feel the dog coming out in me, like when I watch him on TV and in the ring. I just want to fucking wrestle the guy, said Paul. Paul said that when he tackles an industry, he immediately wants to climb to the top, as he says he did in boxing. That's what I do. I did it with Floyd Mayweather. My second opponent was Floyd fucking Mayweather, Paul said of his boxing career. Paul proclaimed his success in his time in WWE already, including executing a top rope elbow through a table at SummerSlam in July. Did you see what I did at SummerSlam? When was the last time you saw something like that done? Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny was doing stuff like that. You can't just discount Bad Bunny. I understand what Paul's talking about, but at the same time, you can't just knock the people that came before you, man. Like, they paved the way, man. Like, come on. Top rope onto the table in my second match ever, Paul said. It's what I do. I love competing at the highest level as soon as I get into the ring. Paul said that given his success, he thinks he's ready to face Reigns already. You put me against Roman Reigns right now, I think I will win. Me versus Roman Reigns one-on-one. That's my match, said Paul. Reigns addressed the possibility of facing The Rock at WrestleMania and covered a wide range of subject in his Impulsive appearance. Photo persona can be seen below. We're not going to watch all of it. You got into... Okay, I wanted to talk about this because the Paul brothers are the smartest motherfuckers, okay? When it comes to selling something, they are geniuses. Like, obviously, like, the whole Floyd Mayweather thing and the whole boxing thing, like, he knew what he was doing in the sense, like, obviously people want to see me get my ass kicked, right? So all the more reason to, like, make it more of like a thing, make it more of like a show, you know what I mean? All the more reason to show off and to act cocky and that sort of stuff, because more people are going to want to tune in because they want to see me get my block knocked off, right? So obviously Logan Paul is going to come in here and he's going to talk all this shit, and he's going to puff himself up and that sort of stuff, and he's going to say, hey, I want to see Roman Reigns. Like, what did he say? Paul said, give us because he's ready to take on phase. Second match ever. You put me against Roman Reigns right now, I think I would win. Me versus Roman Reigns one-on-one, that's my match. Yeah, like, obviously he's going to say that because he obviously wants to get headlines. He wants people to start talking about it, like, oh, Logan Paul thinks that he's going to beat Roman Reigns. And obviously you're going to have people that are going to be like, oh, that's not true. That would never happen. So when the match comes up, people are going to be like, oh, I want to see this. I want to see this. I want to see this, you know? From a business standpoint, this is the smartest thing that this man has ever done in his entire goddamn life, okay? If there's anybody that you're going to call out right now and say, hey, I've only done 2 matches, but I think I can fucking give you a run for your money, it's Roman Reigns, okay? He knows exactly what he's doing. I highly fucking, first of all, that's not happening because, I mean, it'll happen, but I doubt it'll happen like anytime soon, and I doubt it'll happen for the titles. But, man, I would love that. I would love Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE World Heavyweight Universal Intergalactic for a better Utopia Championship, because obviously he's not going to win. They've already talked about this numerous times, but I mean, I would just love to see how they would both get on in the ring. I'm sure it'd be great. So yeah, in terms of like how Paul is acting, I mean, listen, man, his name is Paul. I'm just, in terms of like how Logan is going about this is incredibly smart. Next, we're going to talk about the big update on Pat Buck's AEW status following the suspension. Fightful Select is reporting that AEW Talent Relations team member Pat Buck is already back from suspension after being described as integral in breaking up the violent brawl between Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, CM Punk, and Ace Steel. Buck, along with Brandon Cutler, Christopher Daniels, and Michael Nakazawa, were suspended over the incident, along with Omega and the Bucks, with the lengths of the various suspensions. Yeah. Along with the AEW status of Punk and Steel, unknown. The report notes that Nakazawa is currently in Japan with suspended EVP Kenny Omega, as seen in a tweet from former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Kota Ibushi. Yeah. If you didn't know, Kota Ibushi and Omega are hanging out. Apparently, the reports are saying that Kenny's there by himself. Like, he's not there because of... I think a report came out that Kenny was there because he was supposed to be promoting AEW Fight Forever, but apparently he's just there by himself. The report notes that Nakazawa is currently in Japan with suspended EVP, as seen in a tweet, but the trip had been planned long before the suspension. Yeah, so Daniels is set to make his debut for All Japan Pro Wrestling on September 18th. Engaged in post a lot rant. Buck had previously worked for WWE. Okay, so it's coming out now that the people who were not in the fight, the people who were trying to break up the fight, are now getting, like, unsuspended, which makes a lot of sense, which is good. I like that the right people are getting suspended and the wrong people, like, they're not suspending the wrong people, and they're not just putting a big blanket over it and just suspending everybody that was there. Like, they're keeping the right people in, and they're pushing the wrong people off of TV, so... I like that. I think it was Brandon Cutler too. Brandon Cutler was another one because they were saying that Pat Buck was spotted at Dynamite tonight. So, and I think Brandon Cutler as well. He's also on suspended too. And then somebody on Reddit was like, release the Cutler cut. He probably, if I'm Cutler, do I record that? Because that's a very like heated moment. That's a very that's like a real moment. Like, do you want that? You know what I mean? Maybe he did record it, but he's probably not going to put it on BTE, Or maybe he was going to put it on BTE. Because if the reports are true, and he said, hey, we were going to go and talk it out, maybe they wanted to put it on BTE, and then it came out, and then this whole thing happened, and now they can't put it on BTE. We'll have to see. Finally, Warner Brothers Discovery could include more wrestling-themed shows under AEW leadership. According to Deadline, TNT is shifting from their previous strategy of creating dramas with high budgets and Hollywood A-listers. The network is looking to incorporate cost-effective strategies for both scripted and unscripted series. Is now looking for more cost-effective series that don't go after A-list movie talent and would complement the tentpole sports/unscripted programming on TNT, as well as the rest of Warner Brothers Discovery's suite of linear networks under Finch. That could include wrestling-themed shows, as AEW is a major draw on TNT, and scripted series that have the feel of some of the signature Discovery docu-reality series, like The Deadliest Catch. IP-based / genre series are also being explored, we hear. Kathleen Finch, Chairman and Chief Content Officer, U.S. Network Group, Warner Brothers Discovery, outlined her strategy for future scripted / unscripted programming on TNets, which consists of TNT. Oh, I see. TNets. I see. TN. Okay, gotcha. TNT, TBS, and True TV. I've had some great meetings with agents and production partners to let them know that, yes, we're definitely open for business at TNT, TBS, and at all the brands that make up the WBD US Networks portfolio. So Warner Brothers, what's it? Warner Brothers Deadline? Oh, I don't know. For US Networks portfolio. We spent the past few months evaluating content, our audience makeup, which audience groups we want to grow, and what kinds of series we need to do that. Yes, the content teams are looking at both scripted and unscripted and have already put some exciting projects into development. Once deals are signed, we'll be able to share more, but for now the message we want to send... Sorry, I was moving the microphone. Well, for now, the message we want to send to the production community is that we're bullish on delivering... What does bullish mean? Hold on. We are resembling... What? Okay. Characterized by rising share prices. Okay. Delivering great states to the fans of these top 10 networks. AEW were previously told by Warner Brothers Discovery to tone down the amount of swearing on live programming. We'll have to wait and see what the new network leadership has in store for AEW. I swear at one point... people were talking about, AEW might be in trouble because WarnerMedia were saying something along the lines of like, AEW wasn't like, doing it for them, so they were there were talks of like potentially WarnerMedia not really feeling AEW too much. So there were rumors speculating that AEW might not be with WarnerMedia for too long, but now that this report has come out, I think that is the exact opposite. Okay, I especially think that now that this has come out, I think that AEW is going to be featured more prominently. It's already being featured like fucking amazingly on the network. So to hear that WarnerMedia is going to be leaning like more into AEW-esque shows with more like scripted stories and stuff like that, I think that is going to bode well for AEW, because it just means that WarnerMedia is going to be doing a lot more to like help them out. They're going to be doing a lot more to like push their show and that sort of stuff. Like, I feel as though that this is nothing but good news. Like, for AEW, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm grinning ear to ear hearing about this, because the last time I heard something about WarnerMedia and AEW, it wasn't anything good, and then you got the whole Ace Steel Punk situation going on, and I'm sure WarnerMedia is not too happy about that. But considering how it's being handled, I'm sure WarnerMedia is not necessarily like losing their minds about it. You know what I mean? I'm sure WarnerMedia is looking at this and they're like, all right, you're taking care of the situation, so we don't have to step in and we don't have to like shut anything down. Like, you're doing everything that we would have instructed you to do. So if anything, seeing how you can hold your own, seeing as how the parents left to go to the movie theater and they came back and the house didn't burn down, okay, maybe you don't need a babysitter. Maybe you actually are capable of being on your own, So if I'm AEW and I'm hearing about this, then I'm getting very, very excited. I mean, me personally, I'm excited because from a business standpoint, I can only imagine what WarnerMedia are going to be wanting to do with AEW going forward, especially considering how they are going to be looking to them. So how they're going to be like, featuring them and shows like them, on their programs. So only time will tell in terms of what WarnerMedia does exactly with AEW, but I doubt it'll be anything bad. Folks, that's going to do it for this episode. What did we talk about? EC3 talked about Velveteen Dream and the whole bathroom situation. Velveteen Dream came out and apparently accused... Okay, EC3 accused Velveteen Dream of spying on people in the bathroom using his phone. And Velveteen Dream came out and I guess Velveteen Dream came out and said, hey, you're only saying that because you don't like me, right? And also, a lot of drugs were done at the party, so you can't, not everybody is gonna, I don't think everybody should believe everything that you're saying, right? Listen, man, Velveteen Dream is not helping himself, okay? We're not about to sit here and just ignore the fact that Velveteen Dream is getting himself into trouble, all right? Look, he needs help. I'm going to believe EC3 before I believe Velveteen Dream, all right? Reported updates on the future of NXT. They're going to call it NXT TakeOver Halloween Havoc, which, I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised. Now that I'm hearing about it, yeah, obviously. You know, I mean, fuck. I didn't even talk about it. Fucking, if you saw, it was at the end, right? It was at the end of the NXT. I didn't even talk about it. So they changed the logo back. And when I say back, I mean like they basically took the 2.0 out of it, and it's now the white and gold. It's not black and gold like it used to be. Now it's white and gold. So I think they're going to lean more into the more brighter colors, but I think they're going to just go back to how NXT used to be. I like it because I like how you fucking blink and now NXT is right back to where it used to be. I mean, that pretty much went without saying. I had a feeling that was probably going to happen. It was just more of a question of when, you know what I mean? And, well, now we know. Logan Paul wants to face Roman Reigns. Of course he does, because Logan Paul knows how to sell tickets. He's a genius, okay? Pat Buck has been unsuspended. I think Brandon Cutler has also been unsuspended. I haven't heard anything about Christopher Daniels. Hold on. Oh, no, that's all Japan. Never mind. I haven't heard about Christopher Daniels or Michael Nakazawa, but I assume if Pat Buck and Brandon Cutler are like getting unsuspended at the moment, I assume they're going to be like right behind them, you know? And WarnerMedia is fucking over the moon with AEW. Boys, I'm excited for this. I can't wait to see what WarnerMedia are going to do. Okay, and listen, all right, it's only up from here. Folks, I would give a shout out to everybody who stopped by. I don't know why I say that. I don't know why. I don't know why that just seems like out of place for this. I don't know why. But you know what? If you enjoyed the video, thank you very much. Hopefully everybody has a wonderful tonight and a wonderful tomorrow. And as always, big hugs. Big hugs all around.